flaws and all. Womanhood, sisterhood, and traveling through the worst hood. Adulthood. Conversation from a woman's point of view. This is the S.I.S Podcast.
Hey y'all, it's the Live S.I.S, everybody's favorite TT. And we back again with another episode, but I'm sure y'all can see something a little different today because all the ladies is gone, all the mothers is gone, and today is all about the fellas, all about my bros, my guys, and fatherhood, okay? We're going to get the male's perspective, all right, on fatherhood, on being men, what it's like to have kids, being a husband, and we're going to get their real, raw perspective, their opinion, feedback. They gonna talk all the shit they want to talk, okay? Because I made the ladies go somewhere else. This ain't about them. This about the guys. All right, so go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, hi guys. I'm Juwan, Mrs. O'Neill, aka Jeannie, aka Adetokunbo's husband.
Now he introduced himself like her. Jesus Christ. Like, bro, be your own self, please.
Listen, I just said what I said. But yo, this is Juwan, and I'm really looking forward to this. Excited to kick it with you guys today.
All right, cool. All right, it's Harrius. Go ahead.
Yo. It's your boy T. The one and only, I'm here just to give it, to you raw, real, and how I deal with it, and Queez knows she married, so it is what it is.
Okay, yeah, respect.
Real.
T said she know who she married. Period. Okay, over there, last but most certainly not least, coming in, representing. All right.
So I'm your favorite brother from another mother.
Hey.
Big Daddy Drake is what they call me. But I'm Quayle's husband. As you can see, I'm representing today.
Okay.
Mr. and Mrs. Coley. So I'm just ready to get into it.
All right, let's get into it, Mr. and Mrs. Coley. Do you see the man trying to show everybody out with the damn T-shirt on? He got all the other husbands. Look at the other husbands looking right. He got the dag on with a face big as day on it. You see, if you was watching another episode, that's why she said, "Give me that nut." Ladies, fellas, if you want your wife to be saying, "Give me that nut," this is the energy you need to bring, okay? Just so you know. PSC. All right? Perfect. So we're going to go ahead and get this episode started off with first things first. What is it like being a husband? And then what is it like being a father? Juwan, I'll start with you.
Those are two completely different roles. And my approach, my philosophy is every day is a new day. So I'll start with being a husband because that obviously came first. Listen, Jeannie is special. She's my wife, obviously, but
special is putting it lightly.
Right. But we're learning about each other every day. That's the real. Sometimes you don't know what you get when you wake up, and so you have to just brace yourself and. But the thing, though, is what I say to myself is every single day I'm choosing to do this again, right? So just because we said I do when we said I do doesn't mean it's sealed. You kind of have to renew that intention. That's how I approach it anyway, is that I'm choosing to do this again. Because some days, golly.
Listen, and I know her since she came out, so trust me, I know.
Right, and I'm sure she has the same opinion and feeling about it too, is that sometimes you love this person to death, sometimes you can't stand them. And that's how it is, and that's the real. It's not riding in the sunset like they make it look. Some days it's tough, it's a war zone out here, and some days you're glad that you make this decision. So every day is a new decision that I'm making, and I'm choosing to do this again, and I'm choosing to do this again. And so right.
Easy.
And I've seen a lot of growth in myself. Okay. And the truth is, I think one of the main takeaway from me since I've been married is by yourself, there's only so much you can bring out of you. It takes someone else. And sometimes that process is painful because they're poking at parts of you that you don't really want to address. Mm-hmm. They call you out on things because you think you have your shit together, but you really don't. And it takes a different perspective to show you that you're dropping the ball over here. And as a man with ego and everything, you don't want to admit that sometimes. But when I look back and see who I used to be before and who I am now, has been a transition. I have to admit that. And
she ain't coach you on that answer?
no, so for real. Nah, this is real. This is me being honest about it. Like I said, look, I'm being honest. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's not just butterflies and sunshine. That's not what it's been at all. It's been rough. We've been in the trenches. You get me? But at the end of the day, if you look at the sum total of it all, that's what being a husband has done for me personally.
Okay.
It has. I've seen growth.
Okay.
In my manhood.
Okay.
I need to put it like that.
That's
Now,
what's up.
fatherhood is a different thing also, because that also brings a part of you that you don't know until you get into it. So, being a father of two now is completely different. Also because of the situation around how it started for me. For the first 17 months of my son being here, I wasn't around. And it was FaceTime, pretty
Right.
much. So that kind of gave me a different perspective when I got here. It's like every moment I had to cherish as much as I could, because it was difficult not being around as much.
Yeah,
So right. So it's really wearing two different hats sometimes, because I have to know how to switch between the two, know how to be a dad, but also know how to be a husband as well. And sometimes I drop the ball. I overcompensate on one side and ignore the other, and I have to kind of retract and trace back and make up for that. But it's still a learning process for me.
That's all.
Just
They don't give y'all enough credit. I'm gonna tell you that for sure.
I mean, shit, we done used to it. You just do the job.
And Terrius,
It becomes second nature.
Right.
and Terrius, what about you? What is it like being a husband, and then what's it like being a father?
Let's say being a husband is like, I don't that word is, it's kind of, you gotta walk the line with it, because I don't look at it like that. I don't look at it like it's a title. To me, that's a title, so at that stage I wanted to find a partner, a life partner, somebody I can, because pretty much you spending the rest of your life, you saying you're gonna spend the rest of your life with this person. So when you put a title on that, it comes with other requirements, right? Comes with requirements. So, on this planet, on this earth, you got one life. That's it, right? That's it.
That's
so
right.
Trying to say who you can spend the rest of their life with, that's big. That's major.
Yeah, people don't take it as serious anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's beyond belief. So, at Queez, I like I said, I was well seasoned,
Well seasoned. All right, seasoned like a ribeye steak. Okay.
I knew what I wanted. I didn't want, the regular. I didn't want, I didn't even want to have kids, none of that, because I knew what type of responsibility there was. So, I told, Queez, who I am, up front, and, if she willing to, be with me and deal with me, we can roll. So, like I said, and we've been rocking ever since. You know what I'm saying? So
The wheels fall off.
I mean, so like I can honestly say, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of backlash for this. I can honestly say we've been rocking like, now I'm gonna get this number wrong, true enough, by 8-9 years. So we ain't never had no bad times, it's never been a grind, it's never been struggle. It's never been that, you know what I'm saying? Because she understands me as a man. She let me be a man at the end of the day. So
Okay. Ain't no backlash in that. It is what it is. That's your reality. That's what's up.
you gotta let a man be a man. No matter how you gotta protect your feelings. True, but you gotta let him be a man at the end of the day.
All right, ladies, you hear that? Let a man be a man.
You gotta let a man be a man.
Can't be both.
That's it, So that's my stance on it. But like, far as being a father, I really didn't want kids, and in some selfish way, I can say I really didn't want it because my mindset, like I knew it's gonna make me weak at some point. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna make me weak. So I always say this, you never know your actions or your reaction when somebody do something to your child. I already know mine. My mindset is prepared to go sit behind bars. It's already there. You know what I'm saying? And it's not me preparing to go, go to prison or something like that. But I know if somebody, you know, messes with my kids, I'm not gonna be able to control that. So that's one of the reasons I didn't want to have. That's one of the reasons I didn't want to have kids. So, but
I don't blame you. That's scared to have them. That's why I be scared to have them, because I feel like I'm gonna end up behind somebody's prison.
Hey, you know, so you know, it's certain things issues that come up. You know, I say, hey, if it makes it to me, it's serious. You know what I'm saying? Because she mostly handles the thing in the way how she need to handle it. But if it make it to me, it's serious, and I'm gonna deal with it. You know, how I deal with it. But you know, fatherhood, it's been a dream, man. You know, it's you know, it has its pros and cons. But like I said, it's been a dream for me.
Okay, that's what's up. All right, T. Go ahead, T. Last but not least, go ahead, Big Daddy Dreek. What's it like being a father, a husband, and then a father?
I'm definitely.
T said, tell the truth.
I'm definitely gonna tell the truth. So, first coming into marriage, you know, we as men, we always think we know what it takes. You know, that we have the requirements, we have the quality for it, and just understanding that you have to like set expectations down. When you put expectations on something and somebody don't meet that expectation, you have a problem. So I came in marriage with the idea of understanding that it's just like parenthood. Because you take on a responsibility and role as a father when you take a daughter from their family. So you have to do the same thing you do for her as you do for the children, protect and provide.
Okay.
And that's a hard task to have because every day you have to like put this person first, right? Above, you know, how you feel, your emotions, things like that. And it's difficult because a lot of times men, we suffer in silence when it comes to providing and protecting because we're trying to make it seem like we got it all together for the family. Because if we give them everything that we're dealing with on a daily basis, they will crumble. Between the children and the woman.
That's real.
And not saying that a woman is not built with the capability to deal with the things that we deal with as men, but we were built physically stronger. I ain't gonna say mentally strong because women are naturally
y'all were built physically stronger. I'm not a feminist. Let's be clear.
We don't respond or react out our emotions. It's always logic. What we think is because we're going to naturally react to something. We're not gonna think about it because we're built to react. But it's me and my wife. We've been married for 9 years. We've been together for 10 years, and it's definitely been some ups and downs through the very beginning, you know, very early stages of marriage, because it's two individuals with two different opinions in one household. You're never gonna agree, and it's okay. It's okay, and understand, like he said, to make that choice to do this over again, because it's really a choice at the end of the day. If it's not working for you, you're not built for that. Then you make a decision that we're gonna have to cut out of this. But it's every day. It's just you making a choice over and over, sacrificing every day, because that's my motto for my wife and kids. I'm gonna die for them, regardless of whatever the situation may be. If I could do anything to save them, I'd rather me be harmed and not them. My wife always said, I want to go first. She always said she wants to be the first one to leave because she don't know. And I'm like, we've been together long enough. And as men, it's our role and responsibility to train the one, not only train your children, but train the woman. So if something was to happen to you, she still be able to hold the household down as if you were still there. So we have a major task as men, as fathers, and as husbands in a household that we sometimes we don't look at it because we look at how hard we got to work to be able to buy this, to be able to provide this, but provision is not always money, right? Provision is, you know, training them up in the right way, you know, giving them vision. That if you're not saying that you're passed away, but if you're out doing business and your household hasn't, you know, understood how the house is supposed to be ran as if a man is still here, it's going to be very chaotic when you get back home. The whole atmosphere is going to be shifted when you get back. So that's something you have to work on a daily basis of teaching your family. how to still keep this household as if I was here. How the protection and provision levels still stay there.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's a roller coaster ride. It's emotions. Men, like I said, we don't deal with our emotions on hand, but we do. Yep. Ladies, I hope y'all listen to this.
Oh,
we do
Yeah.
harbor our emotions and deal with stuff internally.
It's there though.
Thank you. That's because men got feelings too. They are human.
We definitely go through stuff, and we would like to have that feeling of comfortability when it's time to open ourselves up like that, because our vulnerable times is like that's our most intimate side of us is when we're open like that, because we're not like that on the regular.
Okay. Okay. And then being a father.
Oh. So like I said, being a father, it takes the same thing.
Oh.
Same thing, protection and provision, but it's a little bit more work because you're dealing with a younger age. So especially I got a house full of boys now. So my role is, oh man, I can't even teach. I want a girl so bad. But I don't have one. And it's a lot of work with dealing with young, because I have a 11-year-old that's about to be 12. My 4-year-old will be 5, and of course we have a baby boy on the way. But teaching them first and foremost is that things that I wasn't taught growing up, that I had to learn as becoming an adult, that now I gotta find a way to be able to teach it to them. I wasn't taught it. It was just something, that came about. And it's different because they have their own will and their own way of how they see things and how they react to things, and to be able to shift the atmosphere and but help them understand that there's a different way to do something. It's work.
Okay.
Because my boys, they have questions. They have their mind made up.
50 million daggone questions, child.
God.
And I be like, listen.
And that's why I love being a TT. I don't know. Ask your daddy, ask your mom.
I said, come back to me. When I have the answer, I'll let you know. Come back to me.
But Terry, you have 2 girls that are older. I know, Juwan, you got a baby, but you got 2 girls. So I hear, Dree saying he want a girl so bad, he got a house full of boys. So what's it like having a house full of women and being a man leading a house full of women?
Listen, I mean, it's different, I can tell you that. You gotta channel the inner energy of your emotions when you're dealing with women, because your approach, how you say things may come over too harsh for women, even though you're just saying it directly. But once you have to drop the hard exterior when dealing with daughters and women. So because they're not gonna understand, certain things, certain words are hurt them, you know what I'm saying, and it'll make them shut down on you. Well, they won't tell you everything. So I had to learn that. It took me time to learn. I can't talk to them like they just a boy or something like that. So it's a different journey when you're dealing with girls. They pure innocent. They can't deal with a lot of harsh words and stuff like that. But
Okay, so it sounds like it brings out a different side of you, a different kind of, mindset in like fathering girls than it is when you fathering a boy.
Yeah. Boys, they naturally protect us, so they gonna be all right. But girls, you have to protect them to a certain extent. You won't always have that, that protection over them because they girls, so it's just, it's a different, like I said, it's a different feeling, different energy.
Had a shotgun ready.
Right.
Look, I'm already prepared.
And I kind of want to piggyback off of.
Put something on the floor now, y'all.
We got to go down there, but I kind of want to piggyback off of what he said, because that's another thing in the household dynamic that we don't understand as men and female. Male and female, that there is the masculine and feminine terms, they're not really gender specific. It's a transfer of energy. As a man, you might have to bring out a little feminine side to be able to deal with your woman, be able to deal with your daughters, and a woman might have to do the other thing in return. You know, she might have to be a little stronger to be able to handle boys and young men and things like that. So we use that term masculine and feminine, like masculinity belongs just to a male. In a household, it's necessary to have both of those energies transferred between both genders, male and female.
Okay.
That creates the balance that you need to sustain a controllable household. So.
Okay.
I like that balance.
So then, Juwan, like for you, you got, 3, almost 4-year-old, and then a newborn little girl. So you got both, and Terry's, he got girls. Drake got all boys. You the only one with both. So like, how is it like you got to switch now in between the two in the same household?
Right. So, one thing that that I picked up from my dad, who's late now, is he really didn't.
May you rest in heaven.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen.
He tried his best not to do that for us. Have a different way to treat the boys than he treated the girls. And I understood that because now I do, because naturally we feel with the boys we have to be harder because they're boys. And with the girls you have to be soft. But like Drake just said, I think that balance is necessary. There are times where as a dad, that manly side has to come out even when I'm dealing with my girl, because she has to understand that the world is not going to be always like it is at home. And you have to have that mental toughness when you're going out into the world. And I need to prepare you as my child, regardless of your gender. You need to know that. So I'm thinking about that now, even dealing with my son, is that I don't want to be too iron-handed with him, because I don't want to create the impression of this is a drill sergeant type relationship. But I still need to find that balance between, okay, when do we have conversations and talk about it? And when do you do what I ask you to do? Because we're not having a conversation right now. So that balance is what I'm learning. And I think that's what it is. And I think what Drake just said is so important. Understanding that as human beings, we have both energies and know how to channel that energy depending on the situation at hand. So there are times where, like I was saying yesterday when we're having a conversation, you watch some of these talk shows and they be like, that whole parenthood of because I said so it's not always effective.
Right.
There are times when it's like, no, it is I said so. Because we don't got time to talk about this right now. Because your kids want to ask you. Iman is at the age now where he wants to ask you 1,000,000 questions in 1 second. And I can't answer all those questions. You understand what I'm saying? So imagine we're outside and something is happening. I don't have the time to explain to you what is happening right now. I need to get you to safety. Right. So in that situation, forget it.
Move.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's the wisdom to know what situation to apply what side of you is what I think the balance would be for me. So as much as I know that my daughter's going to have me wrapped around her fingers, I'm still going to know when to draw the line so that she doesn't think it's all, kiki and you know what I'm saying. So
okay. Daddy just gonna give me whatever.
Nah, I will, but you have to understand that there are lines that you don't cross, because as much as I want to be friends with my kids, I still have to be a parent. And I can't blur those lines. Okay. They have to be well defined. So that's how I feel about it.
Awesome. So I hear a lot of this having to have both energies in the household. Now, how does that factor in with your relationships with your wives, especially while they was pregnant? You see what I'm saying? Because then pregnancy, hormones hit a little different. You know what I mean? That pregnancy attitude is a little something, because, you know what I'm saying? They be straight.
That calls for something a little bit more differently. Like, you have to be way more compassionate when a woman's pregnant. You have to be willing.
But ain't it hard, though?
It's very hard. It's very hard because there's so much that you're not mentally prepared to do, but you're physically prepared for it. Because, like, the stuff that we do as men, when our wives are pregnant and stuff, it comes naturally. She's not probably cooking all the time, so I know I got to cook some days. She's not going to feel like doing laundry, so I know I got to do it. It becomes like second nature as soon as that moment hit. We know that we're expecting a baby. Your body is precious already, but it's even more precious now that there's a baby forming in it. So I gotta allow you the capacity to be able to heal, relax, be comfortable, whatever it may be. So I know that there are things that I have to take on that are a part of probably your everyday process. Because now you like half short right now. Seriously, because the moment that a woman could be pregnant for about 6 weeks and not even know, and they operate on the norm. But soon as it's like in black and white that this is what's going on, the body, it's like their mental and body just comes together, and it's like we're pregnant. We gotta what they call it when bears do in the wintertime, we gotta hibernate now. And all kind of stuff. So their body's just like, it designs like once the mental and physical meets, it's like everything is preparation for the baby at that point.
So it sounds like men also have like a natural reaction when you find out that your partner is pregnant as well, just as women have. Is that true, T? I see you shaking your head.
Yeah, absolutely.
T, you saying yes? I said, you saying yes, men have a natural reaction as well, like when they find out their partner, is pregnant?
It depends on if she's been pregnant before or the first time, just depends on the situation, It was it planned? Was it not planned? If it was planned, that's a different emotion that you want to have, that you want to go through. If it's not planned, you want to prepare, in life to have this child, it may be a different, caring situation you may have to do, because, you want mentally or financially or physically prepared to deal with another child at the point. So, depends, how you look at it.
Okay.
Just to piggyback on what he said, like T was saying he didn't want kids.
Right.
I thought I wanted a lot. I was thinking 5, 6. Yo, when I'm telling you because I wasn't around for the first one. If I was here, chances are we won't have a second one. I'm just being real with you right now. Because, like he said, you really don't know what you're getting into until you're in it. And for me, our second baby was really my first experience being with Jeannie the whole time. It was different. That's what I'm telling you. If it happened the first time around, we probably would have just had one.
Yeah, she did you dirty.
and I think the hardest part of it is the mental. It's because they don't understand everything that they're going through in that moment, and it comes out in different ways. And if you don't approach it the right way, you think, yo, why you being like this right now? But they're dealing with a lot, and we don't understand that. But we can only go off of the emotions that we're getting back. And you have to be mentally mature as a man to know, okay, she's going through something. So when she snaps and when she gets, extra,
that you don't react
exactly
in the wrong kind of way.
Exactly. Yeah. And by the way, I'm not excusing anybody.
Yeah, I'm about to say, hold on, we ain't making no excuses now.
I'm not excusing anybody. No, I have to put this out there.
You still can check it, but you have to be a little bit more compassionate.
You have to.
When you're checking it.
You have
to. I understand you're going through something.
Right.
But listen, you're not going to talk to me like that.
Right. But you understand what I'm saying? That's the part that is kind of difficult for me. Like, because we are very logical people. We don't really go off of emotions. Not that we don't have it. So when we're being thrown emotions left, right, and center, it's like too many things to catch.
That's a lot to handle.
You understand what I'm saying? So again, not that I'm excusing this is not acceptable. You should step up as a man. But when some men don't want to deal with it, I kind of see, it's a lot. I'm not excusing it like I said, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
And that's why I when I was speaking in terms of the natural and the mental, is that our natural reaction, because we're built that way, is going to be the same every time. Right. Provision, protection. There's a baby coming. I got to protect, take care of my wife. I got to protect, take care of the baby that's coming. So our natural reaction is going to be that regardless if it was planned or not planned.
Right.
But the mental change depending on the situation. If you prepare, you mentally already prepared. But if you wasn't, then now you're like, oh, here we go. We got to deal with this again. I'm not ready. I got this going on. I want to take care of this. I had this plan. And you have to shift how you think about it.
Right.
Because you can start resenting that child too.
That part.
When the timing is not right. I don't want a child right now. I don't feel like we need to deal with this. I don't want to be going through this. I got a lot of other stuff that, may seem more important to you. But you can't. If God allowed it to be so, you can't change it. So
that's understandable though, for real. So, me personally, I think, fathers, especially present fathers, active fathers in general, and husbands do not get the credit that they deserve, because being a support ain't no hoe. Okay? It ain't no hoe. That shit ain't no hoe at all, bro. That shit is crazy. Okay? And then you gotta be nice and everything, try to be and sometimes it be like, listen, ain't nobody tell your ass to get pregnant, bro. That's
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah, I can't say that. What? I cannot say that. Who told you to get pregnant?
Who told your ass to get damn pregnant? You know what I'm saying? Like, what you call it? And is you the first person to ever be pregnant? Why you acting like this? Like, you ain't the only one, you know? So then, like, my next question is, and understanding like all of that, having to be supportive, knowing there's a difference, right? Because I hear, you know, you may have had a different experience before you got married, had a kid prior to being, you know, married and then having a child with your wife and everything else. So, because people have this perception, right, that when it comes to co-parenting or anything like that, that, you know, it's the baby daddies are always like the problem. Oh, it's the bad baby daddy, and it's always that.
That is so not true.
I'm like, now I know personally, I got a homie, his baby mama ain't shit, okay? Like, his baby mama terrible. I know that there's some terrible, he had the baby full time, and because he ain't want to be with her no more, she still filed for child support and got child support. And don't even have the baby. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's crazy.
So, like, just from that standpoint and like understanding like what men go through, like what would you say is lacking, or like how can people better support or give credit to, you know, fathers to men that are, you know, stepping into this role, because it's different on your side than it is on the woman's side, but it's just as valid and just as necessary, because kids need both.
So that all goes back to the setting of expectation. A man's supposed to do this. When a man doesn't, most of the time we don't look at that a woman is supposed to do a certain thing, right? Because we already comes with, you know, we already come with the feeling or the energy of that there are certain things that need to be set in place by me to assure that the atmosphere is set, the house is set. So anything that my wife does is a plus, right? So there's not an expectation set for her. But for a man, it's like there are so many expectations set that if we don't do one thing, it's as if we done none of them. So that's where the unappreciation comes from, where a man doesn't really see his true value, because he can do right 100 times, well 99 times, and do wrong one time, and it's as if those 99 times are not correct. So I would say to my sisters out there is that the small thing counts with us, because we are simple. Men are very simple. Rub me on my back, tell me you appreciate me. You know, thank you for providing for our household. Thank you for protecting our household. It doesn't have to be a specific thing every time that you point out. Just when he does something, acknowledge the fact that, you know, it's a good motivation for the household.
Okay. What about you?
I was gonna say, the thing though is, don't drop the compliment right before you have a criticism to put out there.
That's a good one.
You know, if you really appreciate something,
that wouldn't be a critique.
Let the compliment be a compliment.
I know it's cool to soften the blow a little bit. You know, give a little, you know, props, and then say what it is that you have to say. But if it always comes before, why didn't the compliment come on its own? Just stand alone. That, oh, I see what you did. Appreciate you. Thank you for that. Not, you did that. I see that, but this, that. You get what I'm saying?
Ladies, let the compliment stand alone.
Right.
The compliment needs to stand alone.
Right,
Okay.
Right. So that's what I think from my perspective, honestly.
Okay, what about you, T?
Man, look, let's get. I want to back up and see. You said something about, you know, somebody baby mama ain't shit.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, now I mean, that was the question. Was that the question or what you?
Yeah, like, cause I was saying, like, I know somebody whose baby mama is terrible, but men are always, it's always the perception that, you know, in co-parenting situations, it's the man's the problem and they don't get the credit.
So
Right.
that's where it is. Let's address the issue then. So, you know, I mean, a lot of women out here opening their legs to suckers, man. Let's just be real. You know, they open their legs to a guy they met or took them to a nice restaurant, and they think they don't have no kind of spiritual or no kind of emotional energy to learn about themselves first before they say, "Oh, this dude like me. I'm gonna let me open my legs to him." Okay, that's one thing to open your legs, but then you let them hit raw like that's
No, for real. Hey, listen, no, that's he telling the truth.
Facts. I agree with him because I dealt with the same similar situation with my first child.
Like that. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, complaining to me about their baby. Like, you didn't know she was a nutcase from the beginning. Like, I mean, you know, it's, to me, I don't like excuses. You know what I'm saying? Like, you chose to, you know, to vet this person. You know, no matter how long it took, you know what I'm saying? You chose to say, I'm gonna do this with this person. So you gotta, you know, live with your decision, man. A lot of people making excuses about, oh, he ain't shit. Oh, he ain't shit now because, you know, he got a whole other family, or he ain't shit because, you know, you weren't acting right when he was with you. Like, it's a lot of factors that go into that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, a woman can be a certain way with this person and get with the next man and be 10 times better based off how he, you know, present himself to that woman. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of factors in it, you know. I ain't giving out no excuses to none of them. None of them. There'll be no passes with me.
Hey, that's what's up.
And it goes both ways too. The man himself needs to, like, you know, check who you're getting with. Like, is this the person you want to have a child with? Is this the person you know? That's a responsibility you have to take on as a man because you're bringing life into the world. It's not a joke. It's not a small thing. So if you don't see in that person qualities you want to see in your child, then is that something you want to do? But you have to make that call for yourself at the end of the day.
Got you. So what I hear is equal opportunity. Bullshit. Basically, it's like same way as if you question, you know what I'm saying, your baby daddy, you ain't think about it before you went ahead and let him hit raw.
Exactly.
Same thing as you ain't thinking about it before you turn around and went raw up in her. You ain't do your research.
Right.
Do your due diligence.
Right. It's both ways.
Right. You're supposed to do your due diligence. All right. I like that. Equal opportunity. I'm an equal opportunity person. Everybody could get you.
Anybody can get it.
Anybody can get it.
Anybody. Mama, grandma. It don't matter.
Period. I like that. So then, you know, with that being said, with y'all as men and your perspective on having, you know, being either a co-parent or father, being not a father, being a co-parent or a husband, right? How do you balance those type of dynamics, right, when a child is involved? Because now this person, they've gone off, right? They got married, but you still got the crazy, you know what I'm saying, baby, but you got the child still in the middle, and you still got to make sure that you create stability in your household.
So it's all about setting boundaries.
But yeah,
I actually deal with that.
Okay.
Because my first son was not with my wife.
Okay.
He was 2 when we got together. But setting boundaries and, you know, like, is only a certain time my phone could be called by his mother. You know, throughout the day, you can't call past 7 o'clock at night.
Okay.
When we meet, we're not going to each other's houses. You know, we're meeting at a mutual site to do the exchange of the child. You don't have to have a relationship with my wife.
Okay.
You know, I expect y'all to be cordial when y'all around each other, but setting boundaries is gonna cut a lot of confusion down. Because this was a person that I was just dealing with on the fly, having fun. And, you know, a child ended up coming out of the situation. Try to make something out of it. You realize that wasn't a good person.
Right.
So you had to do what you had to do. So my son, first 2 years, he was with me most of the time. She wasn't really in the picture. Her mom was doing more of the, parenting.
Right.
For him. That's who I communicate. The moment she found out I got married, everything started going, south type thing. So over the years, things progressed as far as, maturity and respecting boundaries. Because me, like I said, anybody could get it. Baby mama, grandmama, any mama. It don't matter. When it comes to my wife, I tolerate zero disrespect. So just because she's in a place that you felt like, you could have or should have been in, you can't disrespect her for that. So I require respect from you. You say what you want to say about me. Mm-hmm. Because I know I'm a great father.
Right.
And even the time that we was doing, I was a great provider for you. Mm-hmm. We was never in a relationship. We just, friends. With benefits.
With benefits.
Okay. And it took at least about 6 years for it to get to an understanding point. Like, my wife ain't going nowhere.
Period.
My wife ain't going nowhere. So you gonna either accept this or you gonna keep causing trauma to my son because he see, the change of the dynamics. The atmosphere changes when he come from one house to another house. And being that y'all are not on agreeing terms, you and my wife, you have some kind of animosity toward her. Mm-hmm. He can feel that difference, Mm-hmm. It's conversation my wife won't even have with my son because of how his mom talks and, feel a certain kind of way. So understanding that nobody's gonna like every decision you make. And you gotta live by that. So I don't care. At this point, I don't care because my son is old enough to call me on his own and say, hey, can you come get me?
All right.
I don't have to communicate with your mom anymore. Mm-hmm. So we're out of that stage to where Junior has to talk to you to get honest, to get permission to do this with his dad. No, we're not at that point anymore because he's about to be a teenager soon.
Okay.
So it's just setting boundaries and respecting those boundaries is what's going to help a lot of people in the co-parenting situation because it gets real sticky when they want to play with each other here and there.
Gotcha.
And that's one thing I've never done. Never went back.
Okay.
Never went back.
See, I see you shaking your head.
I was just I was agreeing with.
Huh?
I was agreeing with you.
Oh, you was agreeing with Dree? Okay,
Yeah,
got you.
Yeah.
So, what's your take on the co-parenting situation? Because your oldest is not your daughter.
Right.
Right. So, how does that work on the opposite side?
There's no issues.
Oh, he said there's no issues. Okay. Hey.
But see, most of the time when it's man on man got to deal with each other, it's an understanding.
Right.
You either you gonna either respect it or I'm gonna check it. One of the two.
Exactly. That's it.
But with women, there's so many emotions tied in. You thinking about how we used to be together and all that. Every time we see each other, you reminiscing.
Right.
We ain't got to do that. Man, we gon', hey, bro, what time you bring my child? I'll meet you over here. She ain't coming to get him. I'm coming to get him.
Right. That's it. That's how you have it.
Okay.
But with women, I'm not using this moment to make it seem like women are so unstable. But when they are. No, but
I'm a woman.
When it comes to this type of situation, there are so many emotions involved that you can't just pull them all out at once. Because they deal with so much, like they think about so much different stuff. Especially when you see this man happy with this woman, you think about all the stuff that he did with you that he could be doing with her or do it even better. You see what I'm saying?
100.
Men, we don't think about that. Like I told my wife, I don't care nothing about your past. I'm your present and your future. So don't tell me nothing about your past.
Right.
All right.
I don't want to hear nothing about who you dealt with before because ain't none of them gonna be me.
That's it right there. That's it.
Standing 10 toes down on it, period. Ain't nothing on me. I like that. Because with me, when I be telling my homies, I said clarity for women is so important. Even if even if it's going to hurt their feelings. right? Like you need to be honest, because where you always go wrong with women is when you lie. Mm-hmm. When you lie, when you fabricating, when you trying to skirt around it, when you trying to soften the blow, beating around the bush. No, you just need to rip the Band-Aid off, boom, and be honest. Is she the only one? She the only one. If she not the only one, she not the only one. If you sneaking and creeping, you sneaking and creeping. You see what I'm saying? Right. If everybody know about each other, everybody know about each other. But you gotta be transparent, because every time you don't be transparent and honest, that's when you end up in a stupid situation. Right? Now you're dealing with somebody crazy. Absolutely. Because you got them living in Delulu land. Yeah. Okay? Because they over here delusional, because they thinking it's something that it's not. Just be like, women, we can take it. May not like it.
Right.
Because I don't think no woman likes to find out that they the other woman.
I'm the other woman, no.
You know what I'm saying? No woman likes to find that out. But it's better to just be honest, because you save yourself a whole lot of drama.
Oh, for sure.
A whole lot of bullshit. A whole lot of nonsense. Just be straight up and everything else. So I hear on the co-parenting side, but what about on the family side, right? Being like setting boundaries with your family and your spouse.
Now that could be difficult, because mom has her way of how she see fit.
As a husband.
And dad has his way. You know, wife and husband have different parenting styles, right? Mm-hmm. The mom is going to be more on the nourishing side. The dad is going to be more on the discipline and structure side. Sometimes a mother could be too nurturing. That the discipline and structuring side doesn't hit as hard as it needs to, because every time you discipline your child, he runs to mom, and mom want to call her. It's going to be okay. It's all right. No, he needs to take that harsh criticism and understand how to deal with his emotions. He or she deal with their emotions and get over and understand that my dad is having a serious moment. I have to be serious and understand that this is important. But they don't take it as important if mom's sitting there with open arms like, oh, your dad is just being mean. I'll take care of you. And it could be the other way around. You know, a father could be a little bit too hard. A little bit too hard to where a child take chastisement as love. And even though it is a form of love, but that's not the love that you always supposed to display to your child at everything they do. I'm going to tell you that this not right until you start doing everything the way that I want you to do it. No, they have their own mind, their own way of how they're doing things, and you have to learn how to love them through that. And it's something you can learn from your child too.
Well, that is, you know, say a good point, but I meant like setting boundaries like with your family and your spouse, right? So like
in-laws.
Like in-laws and stuff. In-laws. Like, so you as a husband, right? Protected. I hear y'all protect, provide. T said, you know, set the boundaries. You know what I mean? I'm the man. I run the house. You know what I mean? And everything. Like you know, being very clear. Everybody can get it. How does that work with the in-laws? How does that work with your family?
The same exact way.
Your wife.
Penitentiary rules in effect. I know y'all hear Kevin Gates say that all the time. I lead with respect. I'm going to leave with respect. Okay. So with my wife, if you got an issue that needs to be checked, you tell me, I'm checking it. You're not going to check my wife. In front of me, outside of me, by herself, whatever. You're not going to check her because it's not your job to do that.
Okay.
It's not your job to do that. And with her mom, with my in-laws on her side, I tolerate no disrespect. I came all the way to Atlanta to get my wife for a disagreement that they have. And then get physical or none of that. I left Montgomery, came all the way to Lawrenceville, Georgia.
All right.
And picked my wife up and brought her home. I said, you ain't got to wait for no flight or no none of that. I'm on the way. Okay. If you're not comfortable there, I don't care whatever I got to do to make you feel comforted and supported and protected. Because your emotions ain't protected when you got a whole household. Everybody has the same opinion but you, and they're all arguing with you about that situation. They're not going to entrap you like that, and you're going to be okay with it and still stay there. I'm on the way.
Okay.
I'm on the way. I'm one call away. I could be all the way in Spain somewhere. It doesn't matter. I'm get on the flight that same day. I need a one-way trip.
All right. Okay. What about you, T?
What's the question?
I said when it comes to like your in-laws, like family and like boundaries, like you as a husband setting them boundaries, like how do you handle that like with your family, her family, and within your household and how they interact with your spouse?
There's no issue.
No issue.
No issue. We already
It's understood.
It's understood. Ain't got to be explained. Like,
Exactly.
I told you before, she know who she married. Like she know the structure of how I like things to go. Like I don't like the outside world knowing. They don't have to know I do. They don't. You know what I'm saying? It's not. They don't have to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? So it's us. At the end of the day, it's us. That's it. That's all. It's us. So if it's important of like if it's something like let's just say something going on her side of the family, and that she want to help out or she want to deal with, I let her deal with. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If I'm on mine, I may let her know, or I may not let her know, and I'm gonna just deal with it how I deal with it. So it's not bringing no unnecessary emotions to her. You're right. You know what I'm saying? If I say, oh, gee, my sister need a down payment for a car from the, she ain't got. If I know I can get it to her, it's she don't have. It's no point of what I'm saying, her worrying about that. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about I may bring it up, but it's not it's no issue. Like I said, it's
okay.
The structure is solid, man.
What about you, Tiwa?
No, 100%. Listen, I always say this.
Because I'm like, you're Nigerian. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that, but then before I even go into the Nigerian part of it, is that this is not everybody's situation. So I feel like I'm uniquely blessed in the fact that I couldn't have asked for better in-laws than I have right now. That's my dad. He's not my father. That's my dad. That's my man. So we're good like that. If for any reason me and Jenny didn't work out, I could have still stayed because of the amazing family that she came from. And I have to respect the fact that this is the people that raised her. So they get that respect from me because y'all did a good job. You're making my life easier right now because of the type of daughter you raised. So I appreciate y'all for that. Now, bringing in the Nigerian side and, the cultural aspect of it is that the only thing that I'll ask is if there are problems, I just want my wife not to take it upon herself to think that she needs to have any arguments with anybody or disrespect anybody. So long as you don't bring that, because at the end of the day, your mama is still your mama, my mama is still my mama. They still deserve the world and the respect that they deserve being that key role that they play in our lives. So even if she does something wrong, as long as you don't, do anything that's like out of pocket, I will check her for what she's done. But let me do that. Right. I don't want you to step and make it a whole thing where you cursed her out. Yo, you can't do that. You can't cuss my mama. I know she's wrong, but you can't cuss her out. Let me handle that. As long as you give me that, you don't do too much, you don't do nothing. Like just they said this and I didn't say nothing. Bet. Thank you for that. I'm going to do.
I can handle it.
Exactly. That's all I ask.
And I kind of want to piggyback off of what you're talking about because it sounds like my situation was just so chaotic. I was just speaking in terms of my protection.
Right.
Whether it's my family or her family.
Right.
I'm tolerating no disrespect. And we me and my wife, we always agreed that if it's her parents and I have a disagreement because I'm a very transparent person. If I feel the way, I'm going to say something. Nobody's going to stop me.
All right.
But I'm not going to be disrespectful. So my wife, we always agreed that if I have an issue with your mom or your dad or any of your relatives, you address the issue. Same thing on my mom's side and my dad's side. If there's an issue you have, first of all, I'm not going to let it die down. It's going to happen right then and there. So I just advise you to go and get in the car and go ahead and go because I'm going to check it right there on the spot. I don't let nothing go a couple days and die down and all that. I want to have it on hand. But there's definitely respect. Hearing y'all situations kind of, remind me of how our family dynamic is. Because her family, nobody knew me. Nobody even knew we were married the first year. I came all the way to New Orleans and met her whole entire family.
As her husband.
They didn't know we were married. I went to
after the fact.
I went to I went to her husband, her uncles and aunties' wedding. That's when I met the whole family for the first time. I was her husband. I wasn't her boyfriend, but she didn't tell none of them though.
Okay.
Dang.
Did you have a problem with that? That they didn't know before?
No.
Okay.
No, because they understood what we were young then.
Okay.
Because we got married at 24. But my maturity level and the type of man I am, they was like, that's not a little boy. You know, he kind of like old soul. I got that Southern hospitality with me. You know, I was raised up right.
That's what's up.
And I don't play around at all.
Like that.
When it comes to family.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah. All right, I like that. Now that went through me for a loop. I'm like, meet the whole family as the husband. Woo!
Well, see, we didn't address me as a husband. They knew we were together though.
Oh, okay.
And when we made our first year, that's when she announced it to everybody. Because you know, some people they grow up in households and families and stuff where they've never seen, you know, successful marriages and things like that. They want to make sure, they want to be assured of something. At least we got a year down, you know, that this is something that we were able to sustain. And when that first year came, everybody pretty much knew.
Yeah, but with the whole English situation though, like Drake and T have been saying, you kind of have to, you have to understand that, especially if your woman is being respectful and playing the role that she's supposed to play, then you are her protection.
Always.
You cannot let anybody in your family come crazy for any reason. You check that. It doesn't matter who it is. So long as she's not doing the most. I have to put that out there. Yeah. You be respectful and then I can go to bat. You understand what I'm saying? But you just make sure that if something comes up, because your family will always address your spouse based on how you let them. You set the tone for that.
Exactly.
So if you don't set the right tone and they walk all over her, you let that happen.
You allow it.
So that's what I'm saying. So in as much as the respect thing should be there, don't tolerate no disrespect at all. It's not okay. You and the
both
vice
ways
versa.
around, vice versa.
You already know my wife.
You can't be, you know, you can't.
She doesn't let because she has a very large family and they want to get involved sometimes, and she checks that. She checks it. So like I said, both ways. You know, you make sure from your side you do the protection, from her side she does it, and y'all will be good.
All right, that's what's up. I like hearing. The reason I asked all of that because you know the recent thing going on with that TV show, Family versus Fiance, and the African mom went and embarrassed the heck out of that man. They did that woman dirty, very trifling.
It should never be family versus nobody. It's all family.
Yeah,
there should.
But please know that, especially because I'm African, and not that I speak for all Africans by any stretch of the imagination, but every family is unique and they handle things differently. My mama would never, ever do that. Whatever issues y'all have, she would address that in the most civil, mature way. That was just too much. Even from an African, that was...
it was way too much.
Maybe there was a lot more context and background.
Nah, that was disrespectful.
But that was just too much. That's not how everybody handles it. Even if you're African, that's not how it is. That's crazy.
Okay, perfect. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. So, T, I want you to go ahead and tell me any last thoughts you have for the fathers, for the husbands out there, for somebody that keeps it in order, keeps it in line, locked down in the household. All right, go ahead, tell them, Big T.
I mean, like, I just want to say, like, you know, for like people who want, guys that want to, you know, have a serious relationship, long-term relationship. I mean, you know, it's one of those things you have to know what kind of life you want to live first. Like, you got to know what type of life as a man you want to live at the end of the day, even if you're not with a person. You want to say, okay, I want to do this, I want to travel, I want to be able to, you know, do this when I want to do it. That's what type of person you got to look for. So, like, I would say, like, you know, as far as the traditional dating, that shit out the window, man. You know, you got to really get inside somebody's mind to see what type of person this is, what they can deal with. You know, you got to test them. You got to do it. They say playing games, whatever, but you have to test this person mentally to see what they can hold up to and what they can't. You know, what they struggle at. You know, it can be, you know, you getting on to them about something is washing the dishes. You know, that can, you know what I'm saying, make a woman feel a certain type of way because you telling her something that she knows she should be doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about, like, you know, looking at this person and, you know, really testing this person's mindset to see if they willing to be able to, you know, sustain a long-term relationship with that person. You know, and, like, you know, a lot of fathers, man, I mean, it's a lot of fathers out there. That, you know, that shit, that title don't mean nothing for real. I mean, it's, you know, you got dudes that don't take care of their kids. You got dudes who do. You got dudes who do it from a distance. You got some that's in the household. So it just depends on the situation. But I mean, at the end of the day, women gotta be, they gotta hold, take accountability on who they sleeping with. And at the end of the day, they hold the cards. On who when the child comes in this world, they hold the cards. So I mean, it takes a certain guy to understand like what he getting into. A guy that want to have kids, to me. So you want a guy that want to have kids and hasn't done no research on postpartum. To me, you tripping. You're not prepared mentally for this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it takes a certain person to prepare mentally for what this person's going to go through mentally. So that's all I got to say about it, baby.
All right, Big T. Go ahead, respect. Dropping gems, whole diamonds and rubies. All right, Juwan, last final notes for the fathers and the husbands out there.
And all I'll say is, this is a very personal and individual journey for you and your partner, your situation. The way the world is right now, what you see are the highlight reels, vacations, 5-star dining, and all that good stuff. But where you know it's real is, oh babe, might be light on rent this month. What we gonna do? That part. How you gonna handle that? How you gonna handle when things are not going right? Because nobody shows you the highlight reels on Instagram about we late on rent. All that type of stuff.
We done max out the credit card to go on this vacation.
You get what I'm saying? We went on that vacation. Now what we gonna do?
We worry about that when we get back, man.
Hey, on the real.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's what it is. It's like it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. It all comes together. We'll go on the vacations, but then the times where it's tight, we still have to hold each other down. It's like, is that the person that you're with? Is that the person you have in your corner? It's like when it's rough, when your backs are against the wall, are they gonna up and leave, or they with you, till the wheels fall off? That's what you're looking for at the end of the day. Because I bet you might be Elon. You're gonna go through ups and downs. It don't matter. Everybody has that time where it's not rosy, and that's as far as I'm concerned, that's where love really shows up.
It builds character.
You get what I'm saying? Where it feels like, man, there's really no reason why this person is here, but they're still here. Because, that's what it is. So if you're not mentally prepared for that, if you think it's all going to be all good, then maybe you want to think about it again. If not, at the end of the day, you make that decision for yourself and be sure that you have the right person in your corner.
That's what's up. All right, last but not least, Big Daddy Drake.
So something I use on the regular, because I talk to, people that are in relationships. I'm not a counselor, not yet, but people that are in relationships and in marriages. And what I like to always tell them is that education before presentation. So basically, learn about yourself. Learn, put yourself through certain obstacles and things before you present yourself to someone and say that I'm this quality of a person. You should choose me. And be intentional. Be intentional with what you want. Don't play around with people's feelings. Don't get it misconstrued that if you, like you said, if I fall short on light bill, you ain't gonna leave me out to dry and say, oh, this is my money. I can't be with a man that,
don't break.
That can't provide it all at one time, because there's no such thing as a 50-50.
Right.
There's never gonna be a day where it's gonna be 50-50. Some days you have to be 70, she gonna be 30. Some days she gonna have to be 80, you gonna be 20. So we come together and make 100%.
100.
So wherever one is lacking, the other one is filling the cup up. So
facts.
It's just all about being intentional. Knowing who you are, your traits, your capability, what you can deal with and what you can't deal with, and that's gonna determine how far you can go with the person.
Okay.
Because when we don't set our intentions on and our expectations of what we're going to present to a person, not the expectation of a person, but my qualities and traits that the certain boundaries I set that said this is all I'm going to give. When we don't set those, sometimes we get used and abused as male or female, and sometimes a person just understands that this is all you have to give.
Okay. Hey, that's what's up. So y'all heard it first, live in living color, raw and uncut. All right, from the brothers, from the fathers, from the fellas, from the real husbands. of the S.I.S Podcast, because y'all are the real husbands of the S.I.S Podcast.
For real.
Right? And this has been another episode with S.I.S. Make sure y'all keep tuning in, because you never know what any episode is going to bring. All right, to you live in Little Color. And on that, we're ending this episode. Bye, y'all.